Tucker Carlson is currently the biggest newsman in the world, and it's specifically because he talks about things in the way that nobody else on Fox does. He'll talk about all of the things that the elites are trying to hide from you. Oh, and most importantly, that Jeffrey Epstein did not. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Red Top Report. I'm your host, Joe Enders, and we got some big news going on behind the scenes right now. At least we think so. Tucker Carlson is what I hear is teaming up with our boy, Elon Musk, the guy who unbanned me from Twitter after 3 years. 3 years. All right, guys, we got a breaking update to the story that we're coming out with today. Just last night, Tucker Carlson released a video on Twitter confirming he will be posting a new version of his show on the platform.
Starting soon, we'll be bringing a new version of the show we've been doing for the last 6.5 years to Twitter.
So be sure to stick around to find out what this might mean for Tucker, Fox News, and the Republican Party. Please keep in mind this was recorded prior to the official announcement. They might be teaming up to take on the big bad wolf Fox News. Ronan, what do you think?
That would be insane, dude. That would disrupt the entire mainstream media, but conservative media.
There's one of the things that I really worry about the most. But anyways, I want to throw up the story just so everybody can take a look at it. So we got right here, and this is just a scoop. So this is all kind of speculative at the moment right now. But he says, "Scoop: Tucker Carlson ready to torch Fox News," and this is from Axios. And Axios writes, "Tucker Carlson is preparing to unleash allies to attack Fox News in an effort to bully the network into letting him work for or start a right-wing rival." Sources close to Tucker tell Axios. Now, here's some of the interesting things about what we have in here. Carlson confidants say he also is contemplating building a direct-to-consumer media outlet where his millions of fans could pay to watch him. The ousted host knows where a lot of bodies are buried and is ready to start drawing a map, said another Carlson source who wasn't authorized to speak publicly on it. A close Carlson friend has said he's been saying, "No, I want to get this done quiet and clean," which I find very interesting as well. And now he's saying that Tucker's willing to go to war over this as well. Somebody said, the friend also had said this: his team is preparing for war. He wants his freedom. Now, for those that don't know, Tucker was recently let go from Fox News abruptly. And there's a lot of speculation on why that happened. Some are saying it's because of lawsuits related to the election. Other people are saying it's lawsuits related to, others are saying it was a speech he gave at the Heritage Foundation, praising, Christianity and denouncing kind of the lukewarm, weak Christianity that's been going on throughout the country.
It might be worth taking just 10 minutes out of your busy schedule to say a prayer for the future, and I hope you will.
Yeah, so there is confirmation that there's this meeting going on with him and Elon Musk. Now, I mean, honestly, Ronan, my biggest concern with him going out and doing this is, honestly, it's going to sound weird, but I don't know that Elon Musk has enough money to go up against Fox News. Fox News is $1 billion, worth billions and billions of dollars. I don't know that there's any single man on earth that can bring in as much money as they can.
Well, yeah, that's true. And then even reportedly Rumble and what was the other one? Newsmax offered Tucker Carlson more than his $20 million a year contract. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Rumble is just a trash platform and it can't compete with Fox. There's no way.
Well, the other thing is it can't compete with YouTube, and Tucker's not even banned from YouTube. So why on earth would he want to go make a contract with Rumble? You know what I mean? When he's got when he's got nothing really going for him. Now, that said, I'm firmly in Tucker Carlson's corner on this whole thing, but there's actually a little bit more to this as well. So some of the people, specifically GOP lawmakers, are in private glee at Tucker Carlson's firing. They say he was fired, but he wasn't fired. He's been sidelined at Fox News, and he's in a contract until 2025 with Fox News. So basically, they're paying him, I think it's 16, 20 million, something like that a year. to basically just sit on his hands and do nothing. Now, the reason that Fox is doing this to him right now and firing him and they want him to lose his fan base and lose his influence over the next years. They're trying to shut him up. They don't want him, keeping his audience. They want to put a new face in front of them. And it's probably because, these GOP lawmakers are freaking out about it. They say this is from Axios again, by the way. So Axios has been on this story. They've been on this story. They've been sleuthing the entire time. A sizable number of GOP lawmakers are quietly cheering Fox News' decision to remove Tucker Carlson from its airwaves as making it easier to provide aid to Ukraine, Axios reported. Now listen to this. These are quotes from GOP lawmakers, allegedly. Quote, Tucker being gone makes my life easier with many things, including Ukraine. Though I think that somebody will own that space in a couple of weeks anyways. They're assuming that Fox is going to put up another, war hesitant Republican. I doubt that. Here's another quote from another House Republican. Well, no one is more unhappy about Tucker's departure than the Russians. Saying that he's like a Russian agent. Is that what they're getting at with this? And then a third lawmaker had argued that Carlson thrived on destroying Republicans. I say good riddance. I just want to talk about that for a moment from these stupid, disgusting, shill GOP lawmakers. He wasn't trying to destroy Republicans. He was trying to destroy the corruption that this entire country's right wing, so-called right wing, is a joke, is what it is. It's a joke. They've been capitulating on basically every single issue. And Ukraine, I love how that's the one they're the most obsessed with, because nobody likes to talk about this, but all of those establishment Republicans are massively funded by lots of different groups lots of different military contractors, military contracting groups that profit and make money off of war, off of selling weapons to other countries. So, for example, think of it this way. Want to sell AK-47s to somebody if you're a weapons manufacturer. Well, if you get a government contract, to send aid to Ukraine, that means Ukraine has money to go and buy AK-47s from your manufacturer. And then not only that, they'll continue buying guns so long as that war continues. So that war is basically incentivized to continue forever. So these military industries can just continue raking in profits for the products that they produce. Now let's think about that for a second. Incentivized perpetual war. Wow, that sounds a lot like the past 20 years, doesn't it? Yeah, guys, 20 years. Yeah, try going. We go all the way back. I mean, the Cold War. The Cold War was nice for the military-industrial complex because not as many bullets needed to be fired, but all the countries were buying up weapons and producing them anyways. It's not to say there weren't proxy wars, guys. Vietnam War, the Soviet-Afghanistan War. There's all sorts of different proxy wars that did happen. There were shots fired. The Cold War was not a Cold War. It was just a series of proxy wars fought by the Soviet Union and the United States, backing different sides in different wars all throughout the world. But yeah, I mean, looking at that, that's what Tucker is calling out. It's called the military-industrial complex. And that's what Republicans are worried about, that, oh, it's so good that he's gone because he's not going to be calling out the military-industrial complex that supports perpetual war anymore. Well, you know what? If you're an American and you don't want your son or grandson going to war, boy, you better support Tucker Carlson and not the Fox News oligarchy, the one that defended pretty much every single war we've ever gone to. So that's just what I have to say about that. Now, Ronan, you have a video that you want me to react to as well regarding this very subject.
That's right. Let's take a look.
All right.
Meanwhile, it's not settled.
Megyn Kelly.
They don't have a deal. Why not? Because he needs to be silenced while Fox tries to rebuild that disappearing audience.
What'd I say?
They are banking on you coming back to them. They got a debate in August. You can't resist. You'll go. You'll forgive everything. They're banking on it. DeSantis is likely to announce this month, you're going to turn on Fox News. You can't go to CNN. You're not going to go to Newsmax. You're not going to go to digital media. You're going to tune in to the Fox News primetime, you lapdogs. It's what you always do. It's how they have billions. That's what's happening here. Keep him silent on the sidelines for as long as possible, unable to use his voice on any of these things, on Fox, on politics, on anything. And we will win in the end, like we always do.
When the Biden administration pulled out of Afghanistan.
Okay, pause. So, yeah, I mean, Megyn Kelly just, that was satire, obviously. She was being satirical. She was basically saying Fox always wins because of this. Because they get these guys, these personalities trapped in their contracts. They try to get them to lose their audiences because they tried doing this to Bill O'Reilly too. Bill O'Reilly just jumped on YouTube and he's still relatively taken seriously. Not the same though. Tucker Carlson is currently the biggest newsman in the world right now. Tucker Carlson is the biggest newsman in the world. He's got a magnificent platform, a much more devoted following than Bill O'Reilly had. And it's specifically because he talks about things in the way that nobody else on Fox does. He will call out, Zelensky for doing things like banning like Orthodox Christianity in Ukraine. You got to put up that, please. And he'll talk about, there's still being no motive for the Las Vegas shooting released by the FBI. Put that up too. He'll talk about all of the things that the elites are trying to hide from you. Oh, and most importantly, that Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
We know that he was murdered. He was murdered in the special housing unit of federal lockup in Manhattan.
Tucker Carlson is a journalist that talks about things that he knows he's not allowed to talk about. The things that make the elites look bad. And that's exactly what Fox News doesn't want, because those elites are also Fox News' donors, because they're funded mostly by commercials, private donations, investments, things, all things along those lines. So if the organization of Fox News wants to have advertisers that fund their endeavor, that makes them the multi-billion-dollar corporate giant that they are, they need to keep those elites happy. And those elites do not like what Tucker Carlson is saying. And I think we're going to go into a little bit of that through this second half of this video. So let's play that.
The Taliban was one of the largest militaries in the entire region. No one was punished. When it turns out that didn't do what they told us they were going to do. When the lockdowns hurt more people than they helped, not one person was punished. So it would be encouraging to see someone punished for this debacle, for the 1,000 train derailments we have every year. You don't want the Third World War because you have children or grandchildren, because your own country is in deep trouble, your economy's falling apart, so you're not all in on World War III against Russia and China, and you get a moral lecture from these people? Right, okay. So getting a moral lecture from the banks. I'm going to steal your identity and then mock and degrade the immutable characteristics that define you as a person. And then as I do this, you are going to smile brightly and applaud and then give a speech about how liberated you feel. You don't like the direction of the country, have children, raise them the way that you want.
Oh, that was a sin. Pause.
Beliefs.
Oh, that was a sin against the global elites right there. He just told people to have kids, guys. And what have we been saying at Red Top Report? Get married, have a bunch of children, raise them to be people that have traditional families themselves. That's the only way we're going to turn around this country. We've lost the culture war. The elites, the evil elites that want to destroy us and subjugate us have taken over pretty much every single lever of power in this country. You can see that by the fact that Tucker Carlson just got canned. He's saying have children. Elon Musk is saying have children. I don't like Elon Musk. The guy's a transhumanist. I don't like his views on things, but he's not one of them. All these people funding Fox News are those people. And that's probably why they were so mad at Tucker and did that. He said to have kids because the only way to turn this country around is going to be a centuries-long trudge to turning things around. And you have to do that by having children, by raising them to have a bunch of children, because eventually under that system, we will outnumber them. And when we outnumber them, we can make this country a better place. Let's continue it.
When they're telling you that the two things you cannot have are guns and prayer, you know for a fact that those are the two things you need most.
I love it. Show Tucker, stand with Tucker, boycott Fox News.
See you soon.
Was that the sig out of that of the video that he had? The video he put out on Twitter like the day after he got
the somewhat infamous Twitter video.
Yeah, I won't say he got fired. He got kind of canned. He kind of got sidelined or sat down because he technically is still working for Fox. Fox just doesn't want him to say anything. So I find it absolutely like great. That thing got like 20. What did you say? It took 25 million views or something.
I had like 24 million views the video did, and then I think the impressions on the tweet itself got like 84 million or something.
Yeah, it's just completely insane. So, you can see that Tucker Carlson is upset, like the right, all the right people, all the people that, regular red-blooded American conservatives and right-wing Christians and everything along, all those groups of people will align with. He's backing all of those things. The elites in the Republican Party are not doing that. Republicans are the party of the rich. It's exactly what the Democrats label them to be. They're the party of Wall Street. All they care, that's why they only obsess over the economy, guys. All they care about is making sure that those tax loopholes are not fixed. All they care about is making sure that, the tax rates are lowered for the wealthiest of Americans, which, by the way, I'm fine with that, except the fact that I want them lowered for everyone. And these are the types of things that I'm talking about. They only care about talking about that stuff. They actually, in most cases, support illegal immigration because it drives down the cost of labor and allows corporations and them to have cheap labor to hire. They will support things like Trans-Pacific Partnership, and all these other transnational trade agreements that send all of the jobs that are domestically done overseas because they have this flawed view of the economy where they think that, everybody's capable of just learning more. If we just spend more on education and make more skilled workers, we can train everybody in the country to do high skilled labor, like rocket science. Not everybody's capable of doing rocket science, and that's what we're learning right now, because instead we have people of a working class variety all across this country, not getting jobs and instead getting themselves in positions where they're just doing meth until they die of an overdose. That comes in fentanyl, also something that comes with that open border that we don't like. That's the society that the Republican Party supports, much less the Democrat Party. They say we need to secure the border, but they still don't want to curb legal immigration, H-1B visas for unskilled laborers to come in. I'm sorry, if we just made it legal and had 6 million unskilled laborers come into the country, wouldn't that still hurt Americans? Of course it would hurt Americans. They're not going to negotiate a high enough pay. They don't expect as much as an American worker does. They're not going to expect health benefits. They're not going to expect a family wage. They're not going to expect the things that American workers do, and they're not going to negotiate pay that way. And that's exactly what the corporate owners want. That's exactly what the corporations across this country want. So from my perspective, as they're the anti-blue collar party, and they only use the social issues as kind of a football to make us go out and vote for them, specifically like the pro-life issue. They were all pro-life, and then as soon as the opportunity came for them to slither in and say, well, we actually lost an election because Roe v. Wade got overturned or something like that. We shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have focused on abortion. Why? We should have focused on the economy because that's what everybody was thinking about at the time. Fight for what you believe in. That's how you draw voter enthusiasm. That's how you get people to the polls. It has nothing to do with any of that. None of them fight for what Americans actually believe once they're in office. They focus on the economy. They brag about lower taxes that are usually only for the wealthiest of Americans. How is that helping the middle class? How is that building the middle class? We can talk about trickle down on economics. Sure, it works to an extent. It makes things marginally better. When are we going to start talking about perhaps paid maternity leave for women, something like that? That would be something that I agree with. Personally, I think that we need to be encouraging motherhood. Corporate America doesn't encourage motherhood. Maternity leave would be the most likely thing to create more stay-at-home moms across the country. Because as they were out of work, these illustrious careers that they were exactly what they needed to do through feminism. All of those careers, they would immediately be allowed to stay in the home for a couple months, paid at work, and spend time with their child. That's how stay-at-home mothers are made. That's the first step in turning this around. Once again, that's exactly why the Republicans don't want it. Women in the workforce saturates labor markets, and when you saturate labor markets, that means you're going to have less competition for skilled work, and women are also more agreeable in wage negotiations. It's all about paying people less, guys. That's what the Republican Party is about. So they support feminism in that regard too, in the fact that they are not necessarily pro-mother. They are pro-working career mother, which, once again, not very Catholic. I think that's all I got to say on this one, though. That was quite a bit. That was quite a bit on the economy. But that is the state of the Republican Party. That's exactly why Tucker is gone. So do us a favor, guys. I'm going to need you to follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to the channel, guys. Subscribe to the channel and click that notifications bell so you can know when we're dropping new content. And not only do you need to know when we're dropping new content, when we drop new content, you need to give us your money.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
And you can give us your money by going to buymeacoffee.com, or you can give us a single donation of any amount that you would like, or a monthly Joe for Joe donation, which makes you a premium, guys. Makes you a premium, guys. That's what we want. Premiums for only $5 a month. And with that said, thanks for joining us, guys. God bless you.